So today, we're going to talk about the life and legacy of a true giant of the American civil rights movement, the Reverend Jesse Jackson. His is a story of incredible struggle, of profound influence, and really of an unshakable belief in the power of hope. Let's dive in and explore what made him such a monumental figure.
And this quote, it just says it all, doesn't it? It perfectly captures the weight of his influence. And it is no exaggeration to say that if you want to understand modern America, you really have to understand the path that Jesse Jackson forged.
So, to really get a handle on his impacts, here's how we're going to break it down. We'll take a journey through his life, from his early days forged in the struggle of the segregated South, to his incredible work building the powerful Rainbow Coalition, and of course, his historic run for president that just shattered barriers. Then we'll look at the tributes honoring him, and finally, we'll reflect on the enduring legacy he leaves behind for all of us. Let's start with the news that truly stopped a nation and echoed all around the world. A giant has fallen. The Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson passed away peacefully at his home in Chicago, surrounded by his family. For millions of people, his passing really marked the end of an era. It felt like the quieting of a voice that had spoken for them when it seemed like no one else would.
But to understand the leader he became, we've got to go back all the way to the beginning. His entire life was truly forged in struggle, a journey that took him from the segregated South all the way to the national stage. His rise was, well, it was meteoric. He was born in Greenville, South Carolina, emerging right out of the deep-seated segregation of the American South. By the 1960s, he was this incredibly powerful orator, standing right there alongside Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And this is so crucial. After Dr. King's assassination in 1968, it was Jackson who helped carry that torch, sustaining the movement's momentum through the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. And all that work, it led directly into the next chapter of his life, becoming the architect of the Rainbow Coalition, where he truly solidified his role as a voice for the voiceless. You see, he didn't just continue the work of others. He built his own powerful platforms for change. First up was Operation Breadbasket, which zeroed in on economic justice for Black communities. Then later, he founded the Rainbow Push Coalition, which expanded that fight for social change across all racial and economic lines. His entire philosophy is captured perfectly in his own words right here. And this wasn't just rhetoric, it was a mission statement. He gave a voice to the marginalized, to all those people who felt left out and left behind. He saw them, he spoke for them, and he organized them into a real force for change. And this fight, it was multifaceted. The pillars of his movement were so concrete and far-reaching. He was tackling systemic problems from every single angle, demanding economic justice, fighting to expand voting rights, empowering communities, standing up for workers, and pushing to ensure educational equity. When you fight for justice like he did, it's almost inevitable that you'll end up in the political arena. And that's exactly where he went, launching a run for president that absolutely shattered long-standing barriers in American politics. In 1984, he did something that many people just thought was impossible. As a Black man, he launched a serious, credible, and incredibly powerful campaign for the presidency of the United States. And he didn't stop there. Nope, he ran again in 1988, building on that momentum, winning primaries and caucuses, and galvanizing an even broader coalition. He wasn't just running for office, he was showing America and the world what was possible. So, did he win the nomination? No. But the impact, wow, it was seismic. His campaigns brought millions of new voters into the political process. His trailblazing runs didn't just change elections, they changed imaginations. They opened a path that would eventually, absolutely, lead to the presidency of Barack Obama. But you have to understand, his influence didn't just stop at America's borders, not even close. At home, he was this relentless champion for voting rights. But on the global stage, he was a powerful voice against apartheid in South Africa and a skilled negotiator who secured the release of Americans held captive overseas. And that global stature, you can really see it reflected in the incredible outpouring of tributes that followed the news of his passing, as a nation and really the world paused to honor a true titan.
Let's start with Barack Obama, a man whose own path was so clearly shaped by Jackson's trailblazing. He called him a true giant and added that his work helped shape America and inspired generations. Just a powerful, powerful acknowledgement from the first Black U.S. president. President Joe Biden also paid tribute, and he highlighted another core part of Jackson's identity, calling him a man of God and of the people. And that just speaks perfectly to his dual role as both a spiritual leader and a public servant. And what's really telling is that the tributes transcended political divides. Leaders from Donald Trump to Hillary Clinton, fellow activists like Al Sharpton, and just countless community organizers all paused to honor his life. And that's a testament to the sheer breadth of his impact on America. So all of this, it leads us right to his enduring legacy and to the question of why his work still matters so profoundly today. When you really boil it all down, what is the ultimate legacy of the Reverend Jesse Jackson? Well, for one, he fundamentally transformed the landscape of American politics. He built that Rainbow Coalition, strengthening the bonds between all kinds of diverse movements. And maybe most importantly, he inspired millions of people to believe in their own collective power. His life is just this powerful reminder that the fight for justice requires persistence and, above all else, unshakable hope. And in the end, his entire remarkable life can be captured in the three simple but oh so powerful words he made famous, a call to action that resonates just as strongly today as it ever has. Keep hope alive.